Hi, Pisces. Okay, hi, Pisces. This is Sage Wisdom by S.L. Harris, and we're doing the August mini astrological reading for you. And I want to tell you, as I started to meditate on your energy and call in for divine guidance and divine assistance, I ask for protection in this space, okay? So we only get messages for your highest good, asking to come through from God through me to you, okay? But as I was going through, my chest started to feel tight, like almost like a sense of anxiety. Like it was hard for me to breathe. I was starting to feel reluctant when I was shuffling the cards. They were kind of like, it was like not wanting to come out. So it's kind of, I think it's representing how you're feeling now, kind of closed off, like you're not really wanting to be bothered because you're stuck in your mind and your heart about different situations. I think it's, like I said, different situations. It can be like work, love life, family, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of feel like you just want to kind of shut yourself off. We do not have the Hermit card on this spread. I'm doing a Celtic cross spread, but the first card that came out was the Hangman, the Hanging Man. And the Hangman basically is this overall energy of this reading, and he's feeling tied up in his mind about a lot of situations, not knowing which direction to go in. Yep, that's where he's at. Okay, now we're gonna get into the reading. That's the overall. You guys are feeling tied up. I feel like you're having a lot of anxiety. You're feeling reluctant about different areas in your life. You're feeling restricted and kind of closed off. But I don't think it's another party making you feel that way. I think this is your own emotional feelings and like your thoughts about situation. Like you kind of you're making yourself stuck because of how you're viewing situations and how you feel you should handle it. It's like you're trying to be a perfectionist and you're trying to make the right decision. You know, a decision is a decision. You know, it's not a right and wrong. It's like you make a decision and you go in one direction or you go in another. Okay, so but this, you're feeling like you can't, like you feel like you can't make a decision one way or another. That's the overall energy of this reading. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the card that represents you, the Hierophant. So this, to me, for you, is representing like a set way of thinking, like you stuck in your way of thinking, and maybe something needs to be brought about to change your thought process, okay? And that could just go along with not knowing what direction to go in, maybe helping you to make a clear decision. Maybe you need to seek advice from a wise person, somebody you trust, you know what I'm saying, to help you get clarity on the next step, like what it is you should be doing next. So look, the Hierophant. But you know, it's difficult for you to change, Pisces, and you just kind of feeling a struggle, like you're going back and forth. You're in conflict with your own self. I think your mind and your heart is in conflict with each other. Okay. Okay. What's crossing the Hierophant, which represents you, is the Justice card. Okay. Justice is wanting you to balance, okay, look at the scales, balance your mind, balance your heart, get calm. So once you can balance those things and come to like a calmer state where you're not feeling as conflicted, like the Hangman is showing, you'll be able to make a decision, and the decision will be a good one, okay? Because it's really not a bad decision. Just one decision brings you closer to your goal than another decision would, okay? So it's like balancing this resistance that you're having about your situation and not wanting to change your thinking, which it seems like you're going to have to change your thinking to make the right choice, the right decision. But yeah, you just got to balance your emotions, your mind, your heart, and kind of, you know, get to a good point, okay? The foundation of your reading is the Eight of Swords. Look at her. Look at her. I mean, it's kind of like self-explanatory. Feeling restricted. You guys are feeling totally restricted, which was that tight feeling in my chest. Like you're feeling bound. You're feeling bound to your situation, but it's really nothing blocking you. It's your own mind, your own way of thinking is blocking you. It's your old way of thinking is blocking you. They want you to release your old way of thinking. You're chaining yourself up. You see that woman? She's sitting there, and she got her hands out and is chained up, and she got these 8 swords around her, but they're not touching her, and she can seem like she can just undo the chains herself, just wiggle out, but she's feeling restricted. So your thoughts, your old ways of thinking is keeping you restricted, keeping you in the same place. You know, in order to be something or do something different, you have to make a different choice, okay? And that's where you at. And I think because you got Pisces, and I'm saying you guys are traditional, and if it's not traditional in like a sense of just old fashioned, it's traditional in in the ways that you do things, your habits, your day-to-day life habits. You know what I'm saying? You do the same thing over and over, and it works for you because you're a productive citizen, but you kind of, I don't know, you just kind of feeling kind of blocked and unbalanced now. So you kind of feel restricted. So you got to come out of this old way of thinking, balance your heart and your mind, kind of start changing stuff up so you can unbound yourself, okay? Okay. All right, so then we have the past, and it's the Knight of Wands. Okay, the first thing I noticed about this card is all the red. I'm going to tell you that. Okay, well, what this represents the long journey you've been through, and I think this might. Okay, so what's happening is the red represents your root chakra, which is the first chakra. Okay, and it's like that's your security. You're being financially secure. I think you had a hard time with balancing your finances over the years. Okay, and because you have, it's like you're reluctant about making a decision to go in one direction or another because you don't want to make the wrong decision that may lead you back in a space of not feeling secure, whether it is financially, whether it's like dealing with a person in a relationship, whether it's like helping a family member, whatever it is. It's like you're in a good place financially, like you really are secure right now, but because you had this long road where it took you to get to this point, you're worried that you might make a bad decision and it'll put you back in that position that you were in before where you were not secure. So that's what's keeping you restricted. Okay, so then we have